Okay, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. So here is the untold story of what happened with Diablo 3, the failure of Diablo 3, as well as why Diablo 4 is trash. So there is an old game called Guild Wars 1, an RPG game, PvP RPG, that is the best RPG you will ever play. It has you can it did what I was talking about. It was what Guild Wars did, where you could just make a PvP character and have all the items by unlocking them in arenas. Of course, you could find them in a campaign, and then once you completed the entire campaign, you went to the Protector mode, and all the missions were maxed level. Okay, you can't make the game being with no it had no scaling in a sense that everything was max level on the protector mode. Now you can't make the game starting from having no scaling. And the difference was were the modifiers that the mobs have, the skills they used. It had so that's the best game RPG you will ever play. And now Diablo 3 is a poor imitation of Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 2 was trash, by the way. Diablo, consider this. Since Diablo 3 is trash, now Diablo 4 is more trash. That tells everything. Now let me show you a bit the character as well. After and what happened with Guild Wars 1? Let me tell you. Because there were some builds at some point with the jagged bones. I was there. I remember when this happened. Uh, what happened is that there was a necromancer party that would generate a lot of energy because they were sacrificing their minions from with jagged bones, and they would spawn more with that jagged bone skill. And there was another skill that allowed them to generate corpses when a minion died. Now here is the thing: that skill was useless to and on Guild Wars 1 and 2, and on 3 became useful. There was nothing broken about it. Nothing broken about it. And the company killed the game. It could be countered easily. Three warriors in a guild versus guild. You needed three warriors with Fear Me, and that would drain the enemy, all of the enemy energy, because it was a shout, and it would drain energy from all around it. Shouts are instant and they affect every, like a hit. So like a multiple hit, consider this with an area of effect or instant with which drains energy. So it was countered very well. Also about a Paragor mid which utilizing a tons of what was that? Yeah, adrenaline. You could counter them with visions of regret. There were ways to counter it, but the company, of course, not all the players were as good as I. I was in top 100 personally, but not in. I wasn't. I was in the guild power of Chris, but I wasn't doing much guild versus guild. I was mostly fighting on the arenas uh, just for fun. So. Uh, so guys, Diablo 3 is a poor imitation of Guild Wars 1. Now the problem is the company killed the game of Guild Wars 1 when they were trying to fix this. But there was nothing to fix. It was just the game being. It was just the game. Hold on. Alright. Oops. I forgot. What's this? Hold on. What's this? Archon. Okay, let's put this. Archon goblins. Alright, and there is nothing else that I changed. Okay. So it's prefixed where it's the follower will move. Alright, I get it. So there was nothing to fix if it was there. If there was something, the entire community would be saying it, and not like 60%. When I'm talking about the entire community, I mean about like 95% to 100%. Everyone would agree. There was nothing to fix. It was okay, and I was a warrior. I was kinda take. I mean, on paper, consider me a victim of this build. That I would get abused and killed, completely slaughtered by this build. I wasn't. I wasn't. I was killing them in faction wars. I was killing them in arenas, random arenas, pre-made arenas, team party that was. Also in Heroes Ascension, and I just wasn't doing much guild versus guild because I was not that much interested in doing so. My team were using the Eurofighter build, a team build. Which was, it was a trash build. I didn't want to join that. Playing with the trash build. That's why I didn't go for it. I was oops. I was if they were not using this trash build, I would have played with. So there were ways to counter it. They just need to utilize the skills. Now, some people will argue, well, why they are all necromancer? How is this even allowed? It is allowed because it's the game, man. What do you expect, to destroy the game so we don't allow any builds? So, guild. If you want to play an RPG game, it's still played though. It would be great if it came back to life because it was the best RPG until the company ruined it. Then I abandoned. I got like many others. They said, okay, leave this, screw this. Guild Wars 2 is trash. Don't buy. You can still play Guild Wars 1, and it will always be there. Of course, sadly they're not going to reverse these changes. Now, okay, that's the situation with Guild Wars 1. Now, Diablo 3 is just a poor imitation of Guild Wars 1. If they didn't went for PvP because they intentionally wanted to money grab the players. Now, the thing is, the game should have been up to 10 torment, and not this craziness with greater is 150 on torment 17 and stuff. Then they should have added the arenas, the PvP arenas, and that's the main reason most of the players bought Diablo 3, because it was promised 4 versus 4 PvP. Like I said, the poor imitation of Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 1 had 8 versus 8 PvP, and it would even rise to 24 versus 24 in faction wars. So, there you have it. Now, Diablo 4, we already talked about it being total trash. It was the next expansion with the Necromancer, which never came out because people wouldn't buy it, and the company said, okay, we won't give them PvP in Diablo 3. So it's, like I said, it's a totally trashy, poor imitation of Guild Wars 1 because it doesn't have any PvP, and they didn't put PvP in Diablo 3, and they just released the Necromancer class, then went for the Diablo 4, which is trash. Okay, it's players have nothing to do. They just obviously that would happen, but whoever listened to me saved his money. Now, let me show you about this. This build that I'm using. Our skills: Bodyguard, Phalanx, Resolve Judgment, Zeal, Slash, Pound, Shieldbass, Rise Brothers, Falling Sword, until holy damage. All my attacks then become holy. Bombardment, bed of spikes, barrels of spikes. Lord Commander, hold your ground. Iron Maiden and Fervor. Uh, and Paragon points. Okay, here I went first for vitality, all. Then I would focus, I guess, on movement speed or on maximum wrath. Yeah, maximum wrath mostly, most possibly. Of course, later you get to put them all, but first I go vitality, then maximum wrath, then the rest, I guess, here. Now, critical hit damage. Here, then I would focus on critical hit on cooldown reduction. Though it depends, guys, what you want. I choose that. Now here I want life, which synergizes well with the vitality. Then I'm going for armor, extra armor, because I needed that life. Then I guess I'll go resist all and then regeneration. Utility, area damage mostly. Then I would go life per hit, and then the rest. I don't know. So let's now show you the items. On follower, I was giving reduced cooldown items, as you see, reduces cooldown of. Also, when you go to transmog something, it tells you what it's going to be. This is it. Oh, this is the jeweler. Let's try, for example, this. So you need to look out. If I go here, it tells me the possible outcomes. If I go here on the secondary, it tells me the other possible outcomes. So you need to check what you want to try, what you want to transmog.
Not yet.
So, and some things don't roll, like cooldown reduction doesn't roll on boots. It rolls faster on walk. That's why I'm using these two still. Obviously, I will change these two items with rare, and I guess this is quite useful as it is. Now I even changed my amulet, as you see, critical hit chance, life per hit, reduces duration of impairing effects. Okay, you need critical, look at these gloves. Critical hit down, critical hit chance, reduce cooldown, thorns, that's a quite good pair of gloves. So with this critical reduction, thorns, this doesn't have thorns sadly, but it has critical hit damage, critical hit chance, life per hit, strength, resistance and reduced duration of impairing effects, so it's like 50% reduces duration of impairing effects, because I don't know how to use Akarat champion. You need to hunt for these types of rolls. And on follower, the one that reduces cooldown reduction, everything, everywhere on the follower. That's what we need, cooldown reduction of skills on the follower. Because the follower, guys, is part of your impairing effects, okay, 50%, thorns. It's part of your build. So in total, we're not having 6 skills. We're having 6 plus 8 means how many there are, 14 skills or something. So this is it, and of course you need this because you want follower gets access to all skills. This guy here can now I've seen these guys that just spam all the time with the high level sets reduce this cooldown to 0 and Akarat Champion to 0. That's just guys because they didn't put PV player versus player to money grab the people. Okay, they didn't put the player versus player. Then they added, let's say, what we're gonna do to keep the people leadership. Let's add the craziness of high level rifts of difficulty scaling, which is pointless because this game was supposed to be, the fun of this game was supposed to be the PvP, which they didn't put intentionally, and money grabbed the players as much as they could. Of course, I didn't bought the Necromancer, and I never gonna buy it. I could have bought other games on sales on like the Gladius Relics of War. I got the Firepower DLC. I got all Total War Warhammer 1, 2, and 3 DLCs. Okay, I could have bought the Necromancer on sale easily, but I didn't buy it because I don't waste my money. Now, let's keep going. These powers I'm using. The Mortal Drama. The Warhammer of Cassar increases both by phalanx and bombardment damage and reduces the cooldown here. And Ring of Royal Grandeur, the reason is you need some set items that you to be using. You need to get the bonuses, so I need to get the bonuses. You need some uniques, you see it here. Set items are uniques and legendary uniques, I mean. And you need some rare items. If you manage to find good rolls on them, that's the... I mean, until you get the redundant high endgame Rift 150 max level, okay, whatever it's called, until you get that kind of gear, you need this kind of gear, and I'm pretty sure this can work on the end game as well. I'm pretty sure it can. Now I'm using, as you see on the phalanx, the bodyguard because I go melee. Of course, it costs a wrath in this case, but well, if you want to go for economic one, you can use the bowman who doesn't cost wrath, and they attack all the time. The bodyguard sometimes, if you are not in combat, they follow you. But the Rise Brothers of the Falling Sword also fight. They don't follow you. They have a better AI. They choose to fight than follow you. So in a sense, and the bombardment is the area of effect where you gather the mobs. And for mobility, we have the judgment as well as the shield bash. We run between the pack of mobs without getting stuck in when we are fully surrounded. It works quite well, this build. So this game, guys, was supposed to have PvP, and that's why I said it's a poor implementation. It was supposed to have a PvP, and with arenas that 4 versus 4, which were removed. So that's the whole story with Diablo 3. It's a trash game, guys. These kinds of games are trash, and I'm not talking about Guild Wars right now. I'm talking about Diablo. These kind of games in general. Those Guild Wars 1, guys, is the real respect game of RPGs. It's got excellent RPG elements, and it's got excellent PvP elements, and it doesn't require grinding, but of course you can grind because you get the unlocks from RPG as well as better looking armor. The only thing that changes was the armor appearance, which was great. I mean, it was the best game, super fun game to play back in the day. It still is, but after the company ruined it, it's not obviously. But so far, if you ignore that, let's say this damage to the gameplay didn't happen, it would still be played. It would have still been on full people playing it. So that's the untold story of Diablo 3 and 4. stay away from these games. And okay, let me show you some of the power of this build now. Now, like I said, it can go much. I think this is now where.
Not ready yet.
But I forgot to press it. Almost died. Also, you see, having the follower not die is quite lame. I didn't. It's a new change because the follower couldn't cope with 150 rifts on level 30 veteran. I think we got the
Bad luck for you, friend.
no, we didn't got the kid on the room.
Not ready yet. Bad luck for you, friend.
Let's see that kill.
My wrath is low.
Okay, yeah, you see.
Patience. Not yet. Upper room.
Where is this service? Okay,
Not ready. I require more wrath.
as for items, you need thorns as much as
Blessings of the
possible.
light.
Okay, let's
I'm returning to town.
thorns. Wherever it's possible to have thorns, you need it. This synergizes well with the Iron Maiden as well as this one here. More thorns to nearby enemies. Look, thorns, critical hit chance increase. Anyway. Okay, we're gonna put this right here. Except now, in a sense, I'm gonna reach this for 50, but for now I'm raising a bit the armor to put it like 10, when it's plus 5%, then or plus 10%, then go for more life. It depends on how you play. So anyway, this game, this is the untold story of Diablo franchise. All these kinds of games, I don't play them. It's just Diablo 1 and 2 were good. So I gave a shot to Diablo 3. I mean, I have stopped playing these kinds of games after Guild Wars 1, and I bought it Diablo 3 on sale and played some of it just to see it. Now, as I told you, in this game, surprisingly, it's better to Diablo 4. Now, I showed you how you craft your own uniques and your own set items. You can craft you are guaranteed to make the gear. If the gear is guaranteed, you only grind for the legendaries. Of course, for the rares. Of course, you can just save materials. Go to the workshop here. Grind, and just salvage the materials and forge your own like or any set you want or any rare to make it a unique with a Kanai cube. Now you can also pick how many you want to craft from here. So this is the you are guaranteed gear. So in a sense, it's quite a decent game. It's a respectable game, I'll say at least. And it's a respectable game. But since it doesn't have any PvP, because they went to to money grab the people, guys. That's what they did. That's why they didn't put PvP. I mean, all the players were excited for PvP here. I wasn't, okay, but the majority of the players were, because they were promised PvP arenas 4 versus 4. They didn't. The company didn't put it, and instead they money grabbed the players stopped playing it because there was no PvP. And the company said as an excuse that there was no way to balance PvP, so they moved to another game. There never is a way to balance PvP on any game, guys, to balance it completely. So that was just an excuse to sell copies, giving them don't put in content they promised, in order to steal money. Okay, but money grab them. It's theft, but you know it's. It can't be it can't be proven. I mean, it is, but they promised PvP, so consumers could sue Blizzard because they didn't deliver what they promised. It's called consumer frauding, something like that, because they shown arenas of PvP and they didn't. They promised PvP and they didn't put PvP into the game. So obviously, consumers could sue them. They should have. Blizzard should have been sued for that, to pay fines to the public, but to the state, I think they pay the fines. That's what I mean. So because they didn't deliver their promise, which they also shown in they shown PvP on game reveal, and they said they were working on PvP all this time. Well, okay, then where's the PvP? They didn't put it. They didn't put it because they said that they couldn't balance it. Well, they get to pay a fine then because they fraud the market. So they just, I think it wasn't the people that abandoned the game.
Out there who would benefit from
It
our
was the
aid
people
right now.
that abandoned the game, guys. It was the company that used the game to money grab the people, and obviously the people abandoned it. They won't be staying here for like when the Crusader DLC, the Reaper of Souls came out. Okay, I'm pretty sure it sold copies, and then they instead of but they didn't yet deliver PvP. Well, the players won't be around forever, so they just left, and then they just money grab again the player base with the Necromancer DLC, which I'm pretty sure players who stopped playing Diablo bought it because they were thinking it's gonna be PvP on the horizon. It was not. It was a money grab. So guys, well, if you want to play this game, I said okay, it's quite decent to buy it on sales. I mean, I'm talking about, of course, just to play the campaign and do some runs for that. And don't worry about the items, you are guaranteed to find them because you craft them on your own if you don't find them. So, but it's a trust game. I mean, if I could turn back time, I wouldn't have bought it at all. I didn't bought the Necromancer. I learned from I fell victim to the Blizzard's money grab too. Okay, guys, I bought because despite I paid a total of 35 euro for Diablo 3 and Diablo 3 Reaper Souls, it's still money. They made money out of it, despite buying it on sales from a local store. So if I could turn back time, I would have never bought it at all. That bad. But if you want to buy it now on sales, which cost like minus 67%, I don't remember how much it was. Well, yeah, you can buy it, play, make some runs, and you will see yourselves what I'm talking about. Do not buy Diablo 4 at all. Refund it. Refund it if you have bought it. Don't buy it at all, guys. There's nothing. Even the streamers complain that there is lacking in content and creativity. Yeah, because it's trash. I knew it all along. That's why I didn't bought it. I didn't care to bought it, and if I'm not going to buy it, but some people say that Blizzard will add cool stuff later on. Well, if they add cool stuff later on, wait and buy it later on. Don't buy it now. Okay, μισό λεπτό, Μάκα, δεν μπορώ να μιλήσω αυτή τη στιγμή. Τι έγινε? Ναι, τώρα έρχομαι. Τώρα έρχομαι, μείνες από πάνω μου, τώρα τελειώνω. So this was the untold story of Diablo 3 and 4. The epic fail of the Diablo franchise. After Diablo 2, guys, there is no Diablo. Okay. And these kinds of games generally are trash. Guild Wars 1 is a jewel. It's an epic, it's one of the best games. But that is the only good game out of all the ARPGs and RPGs in general. Baldur's Gate 3 is trash, Baldur's Gate franchise is trash, Diablo franchise is trash, all these kinds of games trash, except Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 2 is trash. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Be well everybody, and see you in the next cast. I gotta go.